Have you ever woken up and felt like the world you knew yesterday doesn't quite fit today? Not in a dramatic way, not with fireworks or earthquakes, but quietly, like putting on a coat that used to feel comfortable and realizing it no longer sits right on your shoulders. The music you loved sounds hollow. The conversations you once enjoyed feel exhausting. The places you used to go now feel foreign. And the people, even the ones you've known for years, suddenly seem like strangers speaking a language you no longer understand. Most people dismiss this feeling. They call it stress, burnout, a phase. They push through it, convinced that something is wrong with them. But what if nothing is wrong? What if this discomfort, this strange sense of not belonging, is not a breakdown but a breakthrough? What if the reason nothing feels the same anymore is because you are no longer the same? You are shifting, not metaphorically, not symbolically, actually shifting. Your frequency is changing. Your consciousness is expanding. And as it does, the old world, the one built on who you used to be, begins to dissolve. It doesn't collapse all at once. It fades, like a photograph left too long in the sun. The colors lose their vibrancy. The edges blur. What once felt solid now feels transparent. And you stand in the middle of it all, wondering why you can no longer find comfort in what used to be home. This is not a crisis. This is calibration. Think of a caterpillar dissolving inside a cocoon. To an outside observer, it looks like death. The structure breaks down. The form disintegrates. But inside that chaos, something extraordinary is happening. The caterpillar is not dying. It is becoming. Its entire biology is reorganizing itself at a cellular level. And when it emerges, it does not crawl anymore. It flies. You are in the cocoon right now. And everything that feels uncomfortable is not destruction. It is reconstruction. The shift begins with awareness. You start noticing what you never noticed before. The patterns, the loops, the conversations that go nowhere, the relationships that drain more than they fill, the job that pays the bills but starves your soul, the routines that keep you moving but never moving forward. For years, maybe decades, these things were invisible. They were just life. But now, suddenly, they are glaringly obvious. And once you see them, you cannot unsee them. This is where the discomfort intensifies. Because seeing clearly means you can no longer pretend. You can no longer numb yourself with distractions. You can no longer hide behind the excuses that used to protect you. The old coping mechanisms stop working. The old identities stop fitting. And you are left standing in the rubble of a life that no longer reflects who you are becoming. Some call this the dark night of the soul. Others call it awakening. But it's not one or the other. It's both. The darkness is not separate from the light. It is the space where the light is being born. And you, standing in that space, are not lost. You are being found. Not by someone else. By yourself. The self that was always there, buried beneath layers of conditioning, expectation, and survival. The people around you may not understand. In fact, most won't. They will tell you to snap out of it, to get back to normal, to stop overthinking. But normal is the very thing that is dying inside you. And no amount of external pressure can revive what your soul has already decided to release. This is why the shift feels so lonely. Not because you are alone, but because you are becoming someone the old world does not recognize yet. You will lose people during this time. Not because you want to. Not because you stop caring. But because your frequencies no longer match. What once bound you together, shared habits, shared complaints, shared distractions, no longer hold. And as you rise, some will not rise with you. This is not failure. This is physics. Like a rocket shedding stages as it ascends, you must release what weighs you down. Not with anger, not with resentment, but with understanding. They are still in their cocoon. And you are beginning to remember you have wings. The hardest part of the shift is not the external changes. It is the internal ones. Because you are not just changing your circumstances. You are changing your identity. The version of you that sought approval is fading. The version that needed external validation to feel worthy is dissolving. The version that stayed small to make others comfortable is being dismantled piece by piece. And in its place, something truer is emerging. Something that does not bend. Something that does not apologize for existing. Something that knows its worth without needing the world to confirm it. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. When you are aligned, you stop asking permission. You stop waiting for the right moment. You stop looking outside yourself for answers that can only come from within. The shift is not about becoming someone new. It is about unbecoming everything you were told to be, so that what you truly are can finally breathe. And that breath, that first real breath, changes everything. So if nothing feels the same anymore, do not panic. Do not try to force yourself back into the old mold. It will not fit. It was never meant to. The discomfort you feel is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a sign that something is finally, undeniably right. You are not breaking. You are breaking free. And once you understand that, the shift stops feeling like a loss and starts feeling like liberation. The unraveling is not the end. It is the beginning. And you, standing in the middle of it, are not falling apart. You are coming together in a way you never have before. Once you recognize that the discomfort is not a malfunction but a recalibration, the next truth reveals itself. You are not just changing emotionally or mentally. You are changing energetically. Your frequency is shifting. And frequency is everything. It determines what you attract, what you tolerate, and what you can no longer ignore. The old vibration, the one you operated on for years, is dissolving. And the new one, the one rising inside you, is tuning you to a completely different reality. Frequency is not abstract. It is tangible. It is the feeling in your chest when you walk into a room and instantly know something is off. It is the pull towards certain people and the repulsion from others. It is the reason a song can bring you to tears or a conversation can drain you in minutes. Everything is vibration. Every thought, every emotion, every word. And when your internal frequency changes, your external world must change with it. It has no choice. Think of it like a radio. For years, you were tuned to a specific station. That station played a certain kind of music. You got used to it. You even thought it was the only station available. But then something shifted. Maybe it was a loss. Maybe it was a moment of clarity. Maybe it was exhaustion from pretending. Whatever it was, the dial moved. And now you are picking up a different signal. A higher one. A clearer one. And the static from the old station is unbearable. This is why nothing feels the same. The frequency you are now operating on does not match the frequency of the life you built. The job that once felt secure now feels suffocating. The relationship that once felt safe now feels stagnant. The friendships that once felt fun now feel shallow. It is not that these things changed. It is that you changed. And when you change frequency, you change worlds. The people who remain on the old frequency cannot hear the new station you are tuned to. They are still listening to the static. And when you try to explain what you are experiencing, they look at you like you are speaking another language. Because you are. Frequency is a language, and not everyone is ready to learn it. This is not judgment. This is resonance, or the lack of it. Before we continue, if this message is resonating with you, if you are feeling the shift and recognizing yourself in these words, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the like button. And share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Because the more we share this understanding, the more people wake up to their own shifting. You are not alone in this, and neither are they. Let's build a community of those who are no longer willing to stay small. Now back to the shift. As your frequency rises, your tolerance for lower vibrations drops. Dramatically. Things that used to slide, gossip, drama, negativity, shallow conversations, now feel like nails on a chalkboard. You cannot fake interest anymore. You cannot nod and smile through interactions that feel empty. Your system rejects them. Not because you are judgmental, but because you are no longer a vibrational match. Your energy has upgraded, and anything that does not match that upgrade feels abrasive. This is where guilt often creeps in. You feel bad for distancing yourself. You feel selfish for prioritizing your peace. You feel like something is wrong with you because you no longer enjoy what everyone else seems fine with. But here is the truth. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not cold. You are simply no longer available for frequencies that drain you. And that is not selfishness. That is self-preservation. That is sacred boundary work. The shift also changes what you desire. The goals that used to motivate you now feel hollow. The achievements that used to matter now feel meaningless. You start asking different questions. Not how do I get more, but what actually fulfills me. Not how do I look successful, but am I living in alignment. Not what will impress others, but what will honor my soul. These are frequency questions. And they only arise when you have risen above the frequency of external validation. When you shift frequency, the universe begins to respond differently. Opportunities that would have never appeared before suddenly show up. People who are on your new frequency begin to find you. Synchronicities increase. Doors open that you did not even know existed. This is not magic. This is resonance. You are now broadcasting a different signal. And life, always listening, is responding to that signal with precision. But the shift also exposes what was never aligned to begin with. Relationships crack. Jobs become unbearable. Living situations feel wrong. This is not punishment. This is clarity. The misalignments were always there. You just could not see them clearly until your frequency rose high enough to reveal them. And now that you see them, you cannot unsee them. Ignoring them becomes harder than addressing them. And so the shift forces your hand. Not cruelly, but necessarily. You will be tested during this phase. The old frequency will pull at you. It will whisper that you are making a mistake, that you are being dramatic, that you should just go back to normal. But normal is a trap. Normal is the frequency of settling. And you did not come this far to settle. You came this far to rise. And rising means letting go of everything that refuses to rise with you. The frequency shift is not gentle. It is precise. It strips away everything that is not true. Everything that is not aligned. Everything that is not serving your highest version. And yes, that can feel like loss. But what you are losing was never truly yours. It was borrowed. It was temporary. It was a costume you wore to survive a world you have now outgrown. And the moment you stop mourning what is leaving and start honoring what is arriving, the shift accelerates. You are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself. And the frequency you are tuning into is the frequency of your truth. That frequency does not apologize. It does not shrink. It does not negotiate. It simply is. And when you fully embody it, the world rearranges itself to match. Once the frequency shift takes hold, you enter the most disorienting part of the entire process. The in-between. You are no longer who you were. but you are not yet fully who you are becoming. The old identity has dissolved. The new one has not solidified. And you stand in the gap between two worlds, belonging fully to neither. This is the liminal space, the threshold, the place where most people panic and try to run back to what was familiar. But you cannot go back. The bridge behind you is already burned. The in-between is where the shift becomes real. Not conceptual, not inspirational, real. Because in this space, there are no guarantees, no clear path, no instruction manual. You are walking in the dark, trusting that the ground will appear beneath your feet with each step. And some days, it does not feel like trust. It feels like free fall. You question everything. Did I make a mistake? Did I misread the signs? Am I delusional? These questions are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are in the void. And the void, though terrifying, is where all creation begins. Most people try to fill the void immediately. They rush into new relationships to avoid feeling alone. They jump into new jobs to escape uncertainty. They distract themselves with noise, scrolling, substances, anything to avoid the silence of not knowing. But the in-between demands stillness. It demands that you sit with the discomfort, that you stop running, that you stop forcing, because the void is not empty. It is pregnant, and what it is gestating is the next version of you. But that version cannot be born if you keep interrupting the labor. The in-between strips you of control. And for someone who has spent their entire life trying to manage outcomes, this feels unbearable. You want to know when the shift will be complete. You want a timeline, a guarantee, a sign that you are on the right track. But the in-between offers none of that. It offers only the present moment. And the present moment, when you are in the void, feels like nothing, like stagnation, like failure. But it is not. It is incubation. And incubation requires darkness. It requires time. It requires patience. This is where faith is tested. Not faith in a religious sense, but faith in the process. Faith that the discomfort has meaning. Faith that the unraveling is not destruction but transformation. Faith that the in-between, though it feels like limbo, is actually the most sacred part of the journey. Because it is here, in the gap between who you were and who you are becoming, that you learn to trust yourself without external validation. You learn to stand without needing applause. You learn to move without needing permission. The in-between also reveals who and what was conditional. The people who stayed as long as you were useful disappear. The opportunities that looked promising evaporate. The plans you made crumble. And in the rubble, you see clearly. You see what was built on sand and what was built on stone. You see who loved the version of you that served them and who loves the truth of you, even when it is messy and undefined. This clarity is painful, but it is also liberating, because you stop wasting energy on what was never meant to last. Loneliness is common in the in-between, not because you are unloved, but because you are becoming someone the old world does not recognize. Your family may not understand. Your friends may pull away. Even your own reflection in the mirror may look foreign. You are shedding an entire identity, and that shedding leaves you raw, exposed, vulnerable. But vulnerability is not weakness. It is openness, and openness is the only way the new can enter. Some days, the in-between will feel like punishment, like you are being abandoned, like the universe has forgotten you. But the universe has not forgotten. It is recalibrating. It is rearranging circumstances, people, and opportunities to match the frequency you are now operating on. And that recalibration takes time. Not because the universe is slow, but because you are still adjusting. You are still learning to hold the new frequency without collapsing back into the old one. And the in-between is the training ground. This is where many give up. They decide the shift is not worth the discomfort. They crawl back to the old life, convincing themselves that comfort is better than uncertainty. But comfort is not peace. Comfort is numbness. And once you have tasted the truth of who you are becoming, numbness will never satisfy you again. So you stay, not because it is easy, but because going back is no longer an option. The bridge has burned, and the only way out is through. The in-between teaches you to trust without evidence, to believe without proof, to move without knowing where the path leads. It teaches you that you are not defined by what you have, or who you know, or what you have accomplished. You are defined by the frequency you carry. And that frequency, though invisible, is the most powerful thing about you. It shapes your reality. It attracts your experiences. It determines your trajectory. And in the in-between, when everything external is stripped away, you learn to tune that frequency with precision. Slowly, subtly, you begin to notice shifts. Small ones at first. A conversation that feels different. An opportunity that appears out of nowhere. A sense of calm that was not there before. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. The in-between is working. The void is gestating. And though you cannot see the full picture yet, you are moving. Not backward. Forward. Always forward. The in-between is not a delay. It is a deepening. It is not a detour. It is the path. And the moment you stop resisting it and start trusting it, everything changes. Not all at once, but steadily. The fog begins to lift. The ground becomes more solid. And the version of you that was being formed in the dark starts to emerge into the light. You are not stuck. You are becoming. And the in-between, though uncomfortable, is the most sacred space you will ever occupy. Once you accept the in-between, once you stop resisting the void, the next phase of the shift begins. The shedding. This is where the old skin finally falls away. Not because you force it, but because it no longer fits. You have outgrown it. And what no longer fits must be released. The shedding is not gentle. It is raw. It is messy. It is the part of the shift where you lose things you thought you needed. And in losing them, you discover what you truly are underneath. The shedding begins with beliefs. The stories you told yourself about who you are, what you deserve, and how life works start to crumble. I am not enough. I need to struggle to succeed. Love is conditional. These beliefs were never yours. They were inherited, passed down through generations, reinforced by culture, embedded in your nervous system. But now, as your frequency rises, they begin to crack. And the cracks widen until the entire structure collapses. What is left is space. And in that space, new beliefs, true beliefs, can finally take root. Then come the habits. The patterns that kept you safe, but also kept you small. The people-pleasing, the over-explaining, the self-sabotage, the need to control, the fear of visibility. These patterns served you once. They were survival mechanisms. But survival is not the same as thriving. And as you shift, your system begins to reject anything that keeps you in survival mode. You stop tolerating behaviors that diminish you. You stop engaging in dynamics that drain you. Not because you are being harsh, but because your frequency will no longer allow it. The shedding also touches relationships. And this is where it hurts the most. Because you do not stop loving the people you release. You simply stop being able to stay in relationships that require you to shrink. Some people will not understand the shift. They will take it personally. They will accuse you of changing, of abandoning them, of thinking you are better than them. And they are right. You are changing, but you are not abandoning them. You are honoring yourself. And honoring yourself sometimes means releasing people who cannot meet you at your new frequency. Not all relationships end. Some evolve. The ones built on authenticity stretch and expand with you. The ones built on convenience, comfort, or codependency break. And the breaking, though painful, is necessary. Because you cannot carry the weight of relationships that no longer serve your highest good. You are not responsible for managing other people's discomfort with your growth. You are only responsible for continuing to grow. The shedding extends to environments. The job that felt secure now feels like a cage. The city that felt like home now feels like a prison. The routines that felt comforting now feel suffocating. You begin to notice how much of your life was designed around other people's expectations. And the moment you notice, you can no longer unsee it. The environments that once felt safe now feel misaligned. And misalignment, once recognized, becomes unbearable. This is where courage is required. Because leaving what is familiar, even when it no longer serves you, is terrifying. The mind will scream at you to stay. It will remind you of every reason why leaving is dangerous. But the soul, the part of you that is shifting, does not care about safety. It cares about truth. And the truth is this: you cannot grow in a container that was built for a smaller version of you. You must break the container. And yes, that breaking will feel like loss. But it is not loss. It is liberation. The shedding also reveals your attachments. The things you thought defined you. Your career. Your relationships. Your accomplishments. Your image. As these things fall away, you are left with the question: who am I without all of this? And that question, though terrifying, is the most important question you will ever ask. Because the answer is not something you find. It is something you remember. You are not what you do. You are not who you know. You are not what you have achieved. You are the consciousness experiencing all of it. And that consciousness, that essence, is untouchable, unbreakable, eternal. The shedding is not about becoming someone new. It is about unbecoming everything you were told to be. It is about stripping away the masks, the roles, the identities that were never truly yours. And what is left, after all the shedding, is the truth of you. Raw, real, unfiltered. This version of you does not perform. It does not pretend. It simply exists. And in that existence, there is a power that no external achievement can match. Some days, the shedding will feel like too much. Like you are losing everything. Like you are being dismantled piece by piece with nothing to show for it. But that is because you are still looking for something external to validate the shift. You are still waiting for proof that you are on the right path. But the proof is not outside. It is inside. It is the quiet knowing that you are no longer willing to betray yourself for comfort. It is the peace that comes from releasing what no longer serves you. It is the freedom that emerges when you stop performing and start being. The shedding does not happen once. It happens in waves. Every time you rise to a new level of frequency, another layer falls away. Another belief. Another pattern. Another relationship. And each time, it gets easier. Not because the loss hurts less, but because you trust the process more. You understand that what is leaving is making space for what is arriving. And what is arriving is always more aligned, more authentic, more true than what was released. The shedding is not the end of the shift. It is the preparation. It is the clearing of the old to make room for the new. And once the shedding is complete, once you have released everything that was never truly yours, you step into the final phase. The embodiment. The full integration of the shift. The moment when you stop becoming and start being. And that is where the real power lives. Once the shedding is complete, once the old skin has fallen away and the void has done its work, something begins to stir. Not loudly, not dramatically, But undeniably, you start to feel solid again. Not in the way you were before. That version is gone. But in a new way. A deeper way. You are no longer searching for yourself. You are no longer questioning every decision. You are no longer waiting for permission. You have emerged. And the person standing here in this moment is not who you were. This person is who you were always meant to become. The emergence is not a destination. It is a state of being. It is the moment when the shift stops feeling like a process and starts feeling like your natural rhythm. You are no longer trying to hold the new frequency. You are the new frequency. It moves through you effortlessly. It informs your choices. It shapes your interactions. It determines what you allow into your life and what you keep out. You are no longer reactive. You are intentional. And that intentionality changes everything. The people who are meant to walk with you at this level begin to appear. Not the ones who knew the old you, but the ones who recognize the real you. They do not need explanations. They do not need convincing. They simply see you. And in that seeing, there is a resonance that requires no words. These are your people. Not because they agree with everything you say, but because they operate on the same frequency. And when frequencies align, connection is effortless. Opportunities also shift. The doors that were closed before now swing open. The paths that seemed impossible now reveal themselves. Not because the universe suddenly decided to favor you, but because you are no longer blocking the flow. You are no longer standing in your own way. The resistance that kept you stuck has dissolved. And in its absence, life moves through you with ease. You stop chasing. You start attracting. And what you attract is always a reflection of the frequency you are holding. The emergence also brings clarity. The confusion that plagued you during the in-between lifts. You know what you want. You know what you will not tolerate. You know your worth without needing external validation. This clarity is not arrogant. It is grounded. It is the result of walking through the fire and coming out whole. You have been tested. You have been stripped. You have been rebuilt. And what stands now is unshakable. Your relationship with yourself changes during the emergence. The self-doubt fades. The self-criticism quiets. You stop comparing yourself to others because you finally understand that your path is yours alone. What someone else is doing is irrelevant. You are not competing. You are creating. And creation does not require comparison. It requires presence. And you, now fully present, create from a place of authenticity that cannot be replicated. The emergence also changes how you move through conflict. You no longer engage in battles that do not serve you. You do not defend yourself to people who are determined to misunderstand you. You do not waste energy trying to convince others of your value. You simply know, and that knowing is enough. When someone challenges you, you do not collapse. You do not react. You respond. And your response comes from a place of centeredness that cannot be shaken by external noise. This is where your power fully activates. Not power in the sense of dominance, but power in the sense of presence. You walk into rooms differently. You speak differently. You hold space differently. People feel it. They may not be able to name it, but they sense that something about you has changed. And they are right. Everything about you has changed. You are no longer performing. You are embodying. And embodiment is magnetic. The emergence does not mean life becomes easy. Challenges still arise. Setbacks still occur. But your relationship with them shifts. You no longer see obstacles as evidence that you are on the wrong path. You see them as opportunities to deepen your trust, to refine your frequency, to strengthen your foundation. You understand that growth is not linear. It is cyclical. And every challenge is simply another layer of the shift revealing itself. You also stop waiting during the emergence, waiting for the right time, waiting for permission, waiting for certainty. You move, not recklessly, but decisively. You trust your intuition. You honor your inner knowing. And you act from that place without needing the world to validate your choices. This is true freedom, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward even when fear is present. The emergence brings integration. The fragments of yourself that felt scattered during the shift now come together. The spiritual and the practical, the masculine and the feminine, the light and the shadow. You are no longer divided. You are whole, and that wholeness radiates. It touches everyone you encounter, not because you are trying to inspire them, but because your presence alone is a reminder that transformation is possible, that the shift, though uncomfortable, is worth it. As you stand in the emergence, you look back at where you started, and you barely recognize that version of yourself, not because they were wrong, but because they were incomplete. They were living in a frequency that no longer fits. And you are living in the frequency of your truth. Fully, unapologetically, powerfully. The shift is not over. It never truly ends, because growth is infinite. But the hardest part, the unraveling, the frequency shift, the in-between, the shedding is complete. You have walked through the fire. And you did not burn. You transformed. And now, standing on the other side, you realize something profound. Nothing feels the same anymore because you are not the same. You have shifted. And the world, always a reflection, is shifting with you. This is why nothing feels the same anymore. Not because something is wrong, but because everything is finally undeniably right. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are emerging. And emergence, though it begins in the dark, always ends in the light. You are the light, and the world is beginning to see it. Not because you are trying to be seen, but because you finally stopped hiding. The shift is complete, and you are just beginning.